Okay, Mike, I think we are ready to go. I think we got quorum. So you are free to start the meeting whenever you like. Let me know if you have questions.
Okay, let's start the meeting, but I don't know what the formality is to start the meeting. To just call to order, or what is the procedure?
Just call the meeting to order, and then you can do a roll call. And on the agenda, we've got the members' names up there.
Okay. Okay, do you want me to do the call?
Yep, if you wouldn't mind, go ahead.
Okay. The Monday, November 9th, Economic Development Authority meeting is called to order. Let's do the roll call. Okay.
Pam Parrish is excused.
Yeah. Mike Piat is here. Johnson. Mohan John Kellerts.
Yep, I'm here.
Glenn Sherman. And Tara Yang.
Yep, I'm present.
Okay. Right, so we have a quorum?
Yep, we have a quorum.
Okay. So should we move on to approval of the agenda?
Move to approve.
I second that.
Okay. It's been approved. Okay. Who's the first?
So that was a motion by Brian, second by Tara, and then
Okay.
we do an all in favor.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Moving on to approval of the 2020 meeting of the EDA.
I think we're having a hard time hearing you, Mike.
I'm sorry. Moving on to the approval of minutes, is that better?
Yes.
Motion to approve.
And that was Brian Johnson, motion to approve.
Okay.
I second.
That was second by John.
Okay. Been approved. This is good. Moving on then to regular business. I'll read what the agenda has, right?
Yep. And I just do the all in favor.
Oh, I'm sorry. All in favor of approval of minutes?
Aye.
Aye.
Oh.
All right. Regular business. Request for a proposal number 3276 for professional environmental services for Brownfields Revolving Fund.
Great. So I can take that one from you. First of all, thanks everyone for being here tonight and rescheduling on an unusual night. We weren't able to get quorum last time, so we made arrangements for tonight, so thank you. All right. One second here. All right, so as you are all probably aware from previous meeting, Green Bay was recently awarded an $800,000 grant from EPA to create a brand new Brownfields Revolving Loan Fund. It's a grant that we've gone after a few different times now and have not been successful up until this past year. So we're really excited to bring this one forward. So this is $800,000, which we will be using to create a brand new revolving loan fund. We'll issue loans and grants to the community, to developers and property owners, and they'll use those funds to facilitate cleanup and redevelopment projects of brownfield sites throughout the city. It's a huge project. It's a complicated program. We absolutely need to secure a consultant to help us implement these new funds. So we worked with our purchasing department, and Jackie from the purchasing department's on the call. They helped us facilitate a request for a proposal. So we went through that formal process where we put out a request, and we did receive two proposals. One was from GEI Consulting and the other was from Stantec. Both were very, very strong proposals. Our team, we had a team of 3 staff members review both and scored them. Both scored really high, only a difference of a couple points. We were very happy moving forward with either candidate. And actually, we are recommending that we do. EPA has given us the recommendation to actually secure 2 consultants with this program. It's not something we've done in the past, but the RLF's a little different. In the event that one of the consultants is also consulting a potential borrower, so if we work with a developer who's interested in utilizing this new loan program, if they're already working with our consultants, we would then have the opportunity to work with the secondary consultant. So we are actually moving forward with recommending we move forward to contract with GEI Consulting and Stantec both. GEI scored a little bit higher than Stantec, so we're recommending that they would serve as the primary consultant. And in the event that they're ever already working with a developer or a borrower who would like to utilize these funds, in that event, we would work with Stantec. We have just about $40,200 budgeted for these services. It's a 5-year grant program. We'll be relying on the consultants really to serve as the technical liaison to the borrower. They will oversee the cleanup process. They'll be a liaison to the DNR, to the EPA, and just help us make sure that we are complying with all state and federal regulations for cleanup. So that's kind of the quick overview. I believe both consultants are here. If you have any questions for them, Jackie with purchasing department's here. If you have any questions for regarding the RFP process, and then of course I can tackle any questions you have too. Otherwise, we are recommending we contract with both GEI and Stantec. Are there any questions?
Matt, I see you've got closed session language on here. Is that something that we need to do?
Not necessarily. It's something that we usually put on the agenda in case we need to. It's usually always included whenever we're negotiating a contract, if it ever becomes necessary through the discussion. But I don't see the need for it tonight.
So maybe just, Matt, if you could allude to it, and I've seen this, with some of the other committees I serve on too, where sometimes the evaluation occurs with city staff, but then the committees are asked to obviously approve contracts based on evaluations, but we're not necessarily privy to how that evaluation occurred, or maybe, the reason I bring it up is because this one is so close, right? And cost, I know why that's got a slight differential, but when I'm looking at the management outline, the 2 points was the difference. Are you able to maybe share with us kind of what the differentiator was there?
Yep. The primary difference between the 2 proposals is GEI was in their management outline, they were offering to assist with more. Honestly, they were willing to do a lot more of the legwork with Davis-Bacon, for instance, is one example. Davis-Bacon prevailing wage requirements is a federal requirement for these kinds of programs. And it's honestly a lot of work. It's complicated, and they were willing to do that as part of their proposal. Stantec would be willing to do that as well, but it was kind of a backup as needed, potential additional costs there, whereas GEI built that into their proposal.
Okay, and I appreciate that explanation. I just think it's good for us as a committee to kind of understand, what some of those differentiators are. So I appreciate that. And both of these companies, I mean, are leaders in their field. I mean, I'm very familiar with both of them. I have zero questions or concerns with their ability to execute the agreement. And so if both companies have agreed to interchange those responsibilities, I guess, as their consulting clients, I see no reason why, we wouldn't want to support this.
Should we vote on this?
Yeah, I'd move to approve as presented by staff.
I second that.
So Mike, we have a first and a second. At this point, it'd be okay to take the vote. Do all in favor?
Okay. All in favor of this request for proposal 3276?
Aye.
Go ahead.
Aye.
And then any
All
opposed?
approved? Any opposed? The motion is carried.
Great, thank you. All right, we can move on with the next item on the agenda, Mike.
Okay, director's report.
All right, we don't have a director today. So we are still without a director. Cheryl Rainier-Wig is still our interim director, still working on hiring a new one permanently. Cheryl was not able to make it tonight. I don't have any updates for the group unless you do, Wendy or David.
I don't. We're just busy. It doesn't seem sometimes like there's even a pandemic going on. So, but the economic development team continues to make meetings and meet with developers and secure revolving loan funds and keep going. So it's been active.
Yeah, and this is David Buck. I guess I can give you just a real quick update on the commercial and industrial market study that we started a while back this past summer. That is still going forward. Most of the data has been collected already. However, we did a business survey and we sent that out, and Wendy can get into the details of who we sent that out to, but we kind of did a broad net. And I think the last time we checked, we were at about 45 responses, which is pretty good for a business survey. However, we also had that translated into Spanish and I believe Hmong, and we wanted to get that out there and get those comments back if we do receive any. So we did push that back to the end of November to give people time to reply. But you should be receiving something probably end of December with the full market study, commercial and industrial market study done, which would lead us to the next phase of a potential I-43 business park expansion. And we have been, well, I should say Wendy has been chasing some leads out there to get that started as well. Probably can't share that, but who and what, but yes. Because we know we're gonna need a catalyst project to get, to kind of get that momentum going. So there you go, that's a quick update on the market study.
Thanks for the update.
Motion to receive and place on file.
I second that.
It's been, who?
We'll just do a all in favor, Mike.
Okay.
Aye.
Did we lose you, Mike?
No, I'm here.
Okay, good. All right, and then you'd ask for any opposed, and then we can move on to the next item.
Okay. The next item is Brownfields program. An update.
Okay, I will try to share my screen here. So bear with me. Oops. Sorry, 1 second. Too many things open.
Well, and actually, Matt, while you're doing that, I'm gonna also, this is David again. I'm also gonna add, sanitary sewer has gone into Grandview all the way down to the Bellevue limits of the city. And next year, we're gonna be running that sanitary sewer out down Finger, running east to the city limits on our eastern border. What that basically means is that opens up that whole southeast corner of the city, which is all pretty much farmland right now. That opens that up for potential development once sanitary sewer is available. Just wanted to add that. I forgot to mention it when I was talking about the survey, so.
Thanks, David. Oop. Let's see. You guys looking at my PowerPoint? Okay, great. All right, so just a quick recap of where we've been spending our fiscal year 19 assessment grant dollars. All right, so this is the map of where we currently spent some funds. We received the $300,000 from EPA in 19 for these new assessment dollars. Mostly focusing on the downtown. The red circles there are where we've been doing phase 2 environmental site assessment work with testing. Yellow circles are the phase 1s, and then the blue circle is where we're doing lead and asbestos inspection. I've talked about all of these sites already from previous meetings, so I won't bore you with those details, but we do have, well, here's the quick bullet points. We've spent about $82,000 or 27% of our budget so far. And like I mentioned, we've assessed 5 sites. And we are just about done with our South Broadway brownfield inventory, which is just about nearly complete. So we'll be sharing that information probably at the next meeting, I would imagine. This is one of our newer projects. We were contacted by the owners of 425 South Adams. This is an office building that the property owner is planning on converting this over to apartments. It's an older building. They anticipate there's asbestos inside that building, possibly lead. So we are using probably around $6,000 of our grant funds to do that lead and asbestos inspection for them. We hope that this will leverage probably $2 million in redevelopment with this project. We just released our housing study, the city's housing study, and we know that we need several more units. We need several more housing units every year in order to keep up with the demand. So we really want to support projects like this. So we were happy to assist them. So that just started. Another project we have coming up soon. We're just getting started with doing a phase 1 environmental site assessment for a property that the redevelopment authority owns. It's on the northwest corner of East Walnut and Roosevelt. This is a vacant site. It's previously only had housing on there. So we don't anticipate major issues, but we do know that in this part of the city, oftentimes we'll find PAHs, which is a contaminant in the soil, just from historic fill material that was placed there. So we're going to assess this site in order to hopefully support 40 new units that are being proposed on this site. Actually, tomorrow, redevelopment will be considering a planning option. A developer is proposing 40 new units. It'll be a mix of affordable housing as well as market rate. We anticipate spending probably around $10,000 in our grant funds, which could leverage up to $8.8 million. We're also to spend some of our grant dollars at 1035 Vanderbrack Street. This is in the north part of town. This is that 4-lane road just to the left of the screen there. That's actually Webster. This is an old Eagles club. Most recently, it was Zozo's, a restaurant. And the redevelopment authority is actually looking at possibly purchasing this site, as well as the parking lot across the street. And they're looking at possibly reusing this for a new community center, and then taking this parking lot and doing housing over here. We see this as a great project, and so the staff is recommending we move forward with using our grant dollars to do a phase 1 here, and also check out the building for lead and asbestos, since that building would probably remain and just be reused. To give you an update on our shipyard project, we received $500,000 from EPA and then $1 million from WEDC to remediate contamination on our shipyard site on the south side of Broadway. We have brand new aerial imagery that was just received. So actually on the left is what the site looked like in April of 2017. And the image on the right is May of 2020. So as you can see, we've been doing some work here. We brought this site out of the floodplain, I've capped it with new clean fill material. So there's actually a lot going on. We're working hard on this site. We spent over $1 million so far on remediation, and are working with DNR and getting this site deemed clean in their eyes. So that one's moving forward as well.
Okay. Good stuff, Matt.
Yep, almost done here. I wanted to update you on an corridor brownfields reuse study that EPA has funded. This is a plan that we're going to be looking at this whole area that's within this red box here, this target area, for those of you that are on Zoom and can see it. This is looking at future land uses, density, also looking at flood resiliency and geotechnical issues with these sites. Several of them are owned by the redevelopment authority, and so we're going to be taking this information that we're gathering through this effort and putting it toward a future RFP for development. So when we're trying to attract developers, we just want to give them all the information that they need to submit a solid proposal to get these sites cleaned up and redeveloped. This process has been guided by stakeholder input. We've reached out to the Broadway bid, the neighborhood association, several property owners and developers within the area to get their input on how this site should be redeveloped. It also builds on previous efforts that we've had. Our team has worked a lot with the neighborhood in this area with planning the redevelopment of the shipyard. So we've gathered all that information from those previous efforts and are putting it into this as well. So we actually will be probably talking in December with you guys about this final plan, which is just about completed. And so I look forward to sharing that with you.
Okay.
And then finally, we've got our brand new revolving loan fund program. Basically, what we needed to do today was approve the consulting team, which we've done. And so we'll probably be coming back here in December to talk about our policies and procedures, hopefully December, possibly January. It's a complicated program. There's a lot to work through, but we're really excited now that we've got consultants secured and can move forward on getting this one up and running. So that's all I got. Any questions?
If not, should we go to adjournment?
Motion to receive and place on file.
Second that.
Great job, Matt.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay, so we've Had a motion for adjournment. Everybody in favor, say
But I think, Mike, we gotta take the vote first on receiving that report and placing it on file.
aye. Okay, sorry, that's, okay, fine. Can we take a vote on the Brownfields program update by Matt?
Yep.
Do we have a motion?
Yep.
Okay. We have a motion and second. All in favor, say
Aye.
Aye.
aye. Okay. Motion carried.
Move to adjourn?
A second.
Okay, we have a motion for adjourn. All in favor, say aye.
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 Aye. We are adjourned.